and welcome to the afternoon, or I guess you could say evening session of Code A. Today we have a lot of great players coming out today.
What happened to your hair?
Listen.
Did you see that one horn that you have to the side?
No,
I
listen.
just realized that.
I don't want to talk about my hair today, but no, it was.
Can you see it on
I know what was going. No, see, I know what was going on in the mind of the Mega Blade. She like had this master plan, right? And she was actually touching my hair as if like it were a crystal ball, and like she could see the future. But listen, I could see the future. I was getting scared. I trusted her, but you know what? It just didn't work out as planned.
The thing is, I can actually just look at you without laughing. I don't know if you can see that at camera. I actually don't think it's visible at camera, but it's awesome. Anyways, guys, sorry, I got distracted there for a second. But let's come down to what we're here today. We are actually here for the second session for StarCraft 2 at the GSL Code A, the round of 48. And we are having a pretty cool match to start things off today, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We actually have, like, I'm just looking at the list and I'm like, well, which one is the coolest match of all? Is it the starting match? Is it the ending match? Is it the first match, which is actually the third match? Or
it's a little bit disappointing that First is not playing the first match.
Yeah, well, you know, Rare is going to make a rare appearance.
Yeah.
His first actual StarCraft 2 appearance in a broadcasted match. RorO, some people arguing this guy should probably have gotten the Code S seed, considering how well he did. Listen, it's not funny, man. I could talk about how your hair looks right now for hours. But anyway.
First, you have to find it.
I can see it a little bit. Now, here's our lineup of matches from this morning. Hyun versus Sleep. Ryung, well, I didn't get to listen to them all, but here's our interview. You can see who won.
코드의 1라운드 경기를 손쉽게 이겼는데요. 시작이 좋은 것 같아서 기분이 좋고 이번 시즌 코드에서 직행하도록 노력하겠습니다. 파이팅!
상대가 조인혁 선수라서 좀 연습을 덜 했는데도 이렇게 쉽게 이겨서 다행인 것 같고요. 근데 쉽게 이길 것 같았어요. 연습을 안 해도. 그래서 뭐 별로 감흥은 없어요.
Alright, so there are results. 2-0s all the way. Every single player who qualified through the preliminaries was knocked out. 0-2, none of them able to take a single set.
Yeah, it was a little bit disappointing for them. Of course, they just fought their way through the entire Code A brackets, the Code A qualifier brackets, and then they lost without winning a single map. Sleep, Ragnarok, Sark, and Dream. And well, right now, of course, we have today's matches for the evening group. It is Ace against RorO, a great match to start things off before we have Hack against Rare.
Yeah, and then of course, first we'll come up against Byung, and last but not least, JD versus Finale. I guess you could call that the finale of today. Finale actually getting a seed, as well as RorO, of course, a different seed, RorO being the Kespa seeded player in today's matches. You can see kind of where everybody came from as well. Not only on that splash screen, but on the screens we'll have up in the future, showing the player stats like this one, for example. You can see, of course, RorO, the Kespa seed, and Ace coming down from the up and down matches.
And seeing those matches, a lot of people were probably a little bit disappointed when you guys were watching the Code A qualifier. You know that Last already qualified also in the Code A qualifier, and it's a little bit disappointing that we don't have the match between First and Last. I was looking forward to actually see who's going to win that.
Well, only one of them. Well, if they face... Actually...
I'm not sure if they are same grid. I actually doubt that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about, but I think they're probably not. Either way, RorO, man, he is coming up against Ace, someone who's shown great PvZ in the past, but I feel like Ace, he's either on or he's off. He shows incredible play, or his play feels a little bit mediocre. He's a little bit inconsistent in that regard.
He has to play RorO on Ohana, and RorO, of course, making quite the appearance in the WCS Korea, where he was able to take down a lot of Protoss players. He was actually the one player who took down Seed with a 2-0. He also won against Hero, and yet, well, he just lost to Creator with a 2-1. So a really strong player that we have here from Casper, Samsung Khan. And the game is about to start, ladies and gentlemen, on Ohana, our first map in the best of 3. This is the GSL round of 48 with Calden Wolf. And here we go, starting to the top left of the map, of our first map in the round of 48 between the two players. It is the Protoss player starting for StarTale. It is...
StarTale Ace. StarTale Ace.
dubbed the King of Celebrations at the Blizzard Cup Final Awards. His opponent formed the team at Samsung Khan. His ideas.
삼성전자 칸 로로.
Chunja is the name oftentimes given to Samsung. I think it means like power, essentially, or like energy. But that's the official Korean name of the team. They use Khan in English for some reason.
And I already talked a little bit about RorO's run in the WCS Korea, but just to give you a little bit more of an idea what actually happened when he was up against Protoss. In total, he played exactly 4 matches, 4 best-of-3s against Protoss. He lost to Squirtle and to Creator. Both of them, well, he was able to take 1 map from both of them, and he won against Seed and Hero. On the other hand, though, we have his opponent, and as Wolf already pointed out, Ace is sometimes a little bit shaky, and if you just look at his game history in general, you will find out that he has a 58 win percentage against Zerg, which is actually, historically speaking, his strongest matchup. But if you then look at his match history, the last games that he played against Zerg, he lost to Sniper, he lost to Targa, he lost to Sleep, he lost to Shine, and he lost to Freaky. He did for ages not win a single best-of-3 against Zerg in televised matches, which is of course really something that you also have to deal with mentally. So this is not going to be a walk in the park for Ace, not only because he's facing Zerg, but also because he's facing a very, very strong one. Probably one of the strongest Casper Zergs that's out there right now.
Absolutely, and not only that, but this is a danger day. This is the round of 48. If he loses, he's out, and he will have to re-qualify. One of the most difficult things a pro gamer will ever have to face is that Code A preliminary. Very few foreigners have ever made it through that, and very few Koreans have made it through that either, actually. The same ones who fall out oftentimes make it back in. It's hard to be a new face in the GSL. That's why, for example, RorO is given a seat, because even though he's one of the best players out there right now, getting through that qualification process, even if you are the best player in the world, may be something you cannot do. It's such an incredible task. So Ace wants to make sure he can solidify himself, at least in Code A, jump back into those up and down matches.
This is really the most dangerous round. You're so right about that. You want to secure yourself a spot in the round of 32 so that you have at least a spot in the up and downs, even if you're going to lose later on. But right now we have standard build orders for both of them. The Zergling's trying to get in here, but Ace reacts in time. He places down another pylon for the full wall of just waiting for his cannon to complete. He wants to deny those scouting information, so well done by Ace. Of course, a little bit unfortunate for him that he had to place down the pylon and cancel it, lose a few minerals, but at least he was able to deny the Zerglings.
Yeah, it's so important to be able to do that, because not only do the Zerglings potentially get you scouting information if you keep them alive, but you lose so much mining time having to deal with those, and you'll likely lose at least a probe or two. RorO is getting see, this is what I'm talking about. Even though he loses 2 of the Lings, he's actually in here now.
Yeah, exactly. He deems it worth it, and now he's just trying to take down a Harvester. And it's of course not only about the probes that he could potentially kill, but also about all this mining time that is now lost for Ace. All these probes right now, they are not mining.
It's so much easier to actually, if you're on top of it, micro your links. You can even micro them on the mini-map if you have to, than dealing with this, because no matter what, you're going to lose mining time. If you're the Zerg player, you don't really lose anything as long as you can keep up making your overlords back at home, which actually RorO has missed one. Now he's starting it, but
he's really trying to snipe one of these probes, and if he succeeds, that will already be worth it. In total, he sacrificed 4 of his Lings, and he is still making it work. He's even getting into the main base right now and scouting.
Until the Stalker is out, he's not going to be able to show any tech, because he's going to need that Stalker to kill the Lings. This is such an unfortunate circumstance for Ace.
And RorO, he is using those scouting information that he has in order to drone up, because he knows exactly that there can't be any aggression coming his way. We don't have a Zealot for Ace. He knows that Ace is skipping the Zealot in favor of the Stalker, and now already the Harvester count starting to be a little bit in favor of RorO, whose lava mechanics are now starting to kick in.
He also, to note, even though he had those links there, he did not see +1 started, so he doesn't know that that Ace started that research. He can go and check at any point in time with a Ling if he wants to, but since Ace is so carefully keeping that Stalker around, it's pretty difficult for him to see that. And Ace is also going into a very fast Twilight Council here. I think we may see +2 Blink Stalkers.
+2 Blink Stalkers, definitely a good build on this map. On Ohana, you have the option of going for an Immortal push. You can go for the +2 Blink Stalker build. Also quite common is that you try to get into position with a Warp Prism Sentry Drop to block the ramp. And right now, as you can already see, we have the Overlord just spotting in there, trying to get a glimpse of what exactly is going on. He knows, of course, there is double gas, but what is Ace doing with it? And in Twilight Council, it has been spotted.
And he just immediately starts blinking, adds the gates. He's not going to change the plan. He's going to stick to it. RorO actually finds himself supply blocked a little bit here after losing that Overlord. He's going to have to make another one. Speed is on the way, as is his lair. The defense of this is oftentimes done with Burrow, because your opponent oftentimes does this type of attack without an Observer. We'll see if Ace adds that Robo very soon. If he doesn't, he is going to have that weakness.
And a very, very, very late Evolution Chamber and Roachborn. At the 8-minute mark, he actually starts to build it. Most Zerg players won't delay it any further than 720. Most of them actually already building it at around 640, 650. So he delays it for quite a long time. And he is still building drones, which I actually find a little bit odd, given what he just scouted.
And now he's making 28 Zerglings. He's up to 65 drones right now, and in total, he's going to go up to 66, making that last drone right now. Ace will have the Observer with his push, so Burrow is not going to be his way out of this, but this means just a few less Stalkers are going to be in the mix, and he cannot hit as quickly as he wants to.
This is going to be a very, very interesting push now by Ace, because RorO is in the know. He decided that still with the extra drones he can hold this, and Ace actually taking his third base right now behind this.
I love this, because now he has all the ability to use what he wanted to. It's a threatening situation for RorO, so he has to be careful. But at the same time, Ace can actually just now do this with the units that he's going to be able to make off of this. He has a very fast blink. He made so many sentries instead of making Stalkers that he can actually hold this Nexus, no problem. There's no way the Lings can force the cancel.
You know, I actually think that at no point did RorO really scout the +1 attack timing, because he assumed that there were DTs coming his way.
Yeah, he made those
Spot Crawlers.
Exactly right.
He built Spot Crawlers, quite a few of them, one at each base. He wanted to play it super safe.
A warp in here, that was so close.
Well, he can also just use the sentries, of course, with a force field. He was already in position. In the worst case scenario, he would have used the force field. But right now, it looks like RorO wants to be on the wants to be the aggressor in the game.
Yeah, he made a lot of units because he feared a potential attack was coming, and also, you know, he had those spore stuff. He wasn't really sure what he was dealing with. But now he made all these units, he's got to use them somehow. And actually, the Lings don't run into the main very quickly. Only 2 will get inside. The Roach is thinking about coming around the other side, but there's just not enough of them.
And now RorO has to be a little bit careful, because Ace, even though down in supply, has the first Immortal out.
Yeah.
He can work against these Roaches with good positioning. He will be able to do a lot of damage. And
like
look
this.
at these force fields.
They're so good, and this is a big problem.
But where's the one Immortal that he has?
That is still in his main base, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's still in his main. It killed the 2 Lings, and then he never set it down. He needs that Immortal.
Yeah, he could have killed every single one of these Roaches.
And he doesn't get the force field, and then actually he's going to lose a few sentries as a result. 3 of them already going down. Will likely lose all 5.
And the Immortal is still in the main base. The one Immortal just walks down the ramp. Is actually the second one.
Yeah, Ace could have actually defended this a lot easier, but now he has to even pull his probes away from his third base, and RorO has made this well worth it.
Ace realized what was going on. Now he has the second Immortal, but he might already be a little bit too late. Roaches into his main base.
Yeah, he can't block these Roaches out. He's actually targeting down the Robo. A great choice.
Oh my god, this is definitely going to work. The Robo is dying. No more Immortals
and
for
now
Ace.
He's going to pick off some more probes. He's got even another Roach already in the natural. Third base is cleaned up, but the natural is losing probes, and Ace is falling apart pretty fast. 13 workers killed already in total, and the number continues to grow.
And at the same time, he's trying to snipe the cybernetic score. Just think about how much he delays the tech if he really is able to kill the core, and he is!
And now, RorO already has his 4th hatchery going up at the 9 o'clock position. He's running more and more units across the map, and he's just got a position now where Ace has to be so defensive he had to remake his Forge.
RorO doesn't have to tech now, he just can continue to produce Roaches. Immortals are ages away from being in the game again, and at the same time we don't have the possibility for Ace anymore to build Stalkers. So right now he can just overwhelm him with numbers.
Yeah, and he's just actually targeting down pylons and gateways. He's just picking up one structure after another rather than trading with units, and Ace is starting to get up in supply, but he's supply blocked right now, and he has the critical mass to push his Roach Force back. The damage has been done, and it's so hard for Ace to counterattack right now as his core just refinished. He is just now starting his +3.
A really difficult situation for Ace to be in. He's 70 supply behind his opponent. The bank is already working up for RorO. We have the 4th base ready for the Zerg player, and he is doing everything right here. Ace with a small mistake. Well, if you think about it, it's just a small thing. Just move this Immortal down the base after killing the Zerglings, but Ace didn't do it. He waited for the second one. He could not defend his wall with an Immortal in position, especially when he trapped all these Roaches at the ramp. He could have taken up so many of them.
Yeah. And RorO says it's time to go again. He's actually taking control of the Watchtower right now, and Ace not even blinking the Stalker away. He's busy defending against the Roach in his third base.
Ace is now just trying to stabilize once again. He knows that this was a big problem for him, that he is so far behind his opponent. He's trying to stabilize, he's trying to make it work with the Dark Shrine that he just built, but will he really be able to withstand this much power?
Well, the Roaches are there's just so many of them. In fact, right now there are 50 Roaches on the map. That's it. 4 Queens, 50 Roaches. That's the army supply of RorO. He's just making nothing but Roaches. He is getting +1 for his Lynx. This is going to be, of course, later on helpful for Broodlords as well if it comes to that.
He transitions. He has the Infestation Pit. He goes for the Pathogen Lance upgrade, so it's not like he's stuck on Lair and this idea of overwhelming his opponent, but he can certainly try to pull it off. The Observer is, of course, an issue, and we have the DTs now actually not being used as an aggressive means of taking down a base. No, he uses them as a defensive measure. And look at this production tab with 12 Spine Crawlers now coming up. RorO is buying himself the safety to transition.
Yeah, and the safety is here. He's got 5 Infestors on the way already. Pathogen Gland's already lined up with them. And those Spine Crawlers alone are going to really help him. There's no Spore set up at the 4th, though, and that's right where the DTs are going. He will likely target down the Queen first. He's actually going to go right for the Hatchery, which is going to likely work. I don't think there's any Overseer nearby. Oh, there's one coming, and it looks like he will get it.
Yes. He won't kill the hatch. No, there is the Overseer, and bam, those 2 DTs.
So not even getting a Queen
down
there. But these Roaches on the right side of the map are a little bit vulnerable. There's a lot of Blink Stalkers here.
But he has to be careful. If the Stalkers are trapped, and it certainly looks like they will be, it could be a really huge problem for him. Now on creep, another blink by the Stalkers. The rest of the forces aren't coming in.
Yeah, great control by Ace there with how he used his blinks, but the problem is he cannot get past the Spines now. The Infestors are waiting right behind them, and exactly as you said, does not want to get those Stalkers locked down, and another Roach Force coming in. He warps in DTs to defend, but DTs cannot do the damage fast enough to prevent this Forge from going down.
No more upgrades for Ace. That one's for sure. The Forge dies, and the rest of the Roach is already in the natural, trying to take down additional Harvesters, whereas Ace just has no chance of committing into these Spine Crawlers.
And more probes are going down for him, and you're so right. RorO just actually already solved the puzzle. He's like, what's the one way I can lose this game? A counterattack with really heavily upgraded Stalkers and Moles. How can I stop that? Infestors with Spinecrawler support. He's transitioning into Hive and Spire. What for Broodlords, of course. And this is just a terrible position for Ace, even though he's got this great army on the map. He just can't use it.
The bank is insane for RorO right now, but Ace, he decides that he has to take his chance right now. He has to do something, so he tries to bully his way through. Where will he finally commit? He's actually trapped, and here come the funnels. Beautiful funnels. Everything is funneled down, and Ace is trapped and being attacked from every angle possible.
All the Immortals are going to die with very little support. A few DTs in here, but they're not going to last very long. And Ace, despite the fact that he cleaned up these Roaches initially, didn't really gain any ground here. All he did was minimize his army size.
And suddenly RorO is just remaxing. He's going straight for 50, 60 Zerglings. He has Adrenal Glands on his way, +2/+2. The Greater Spire is also being built, and this is the worst case scenario for Ace right now. He's trying to desperately make this work somehow, but the Zerglings going in there. No force fields, of course, and this looks like it's going to be game. No chance of Ace to recover from this blow.
Yeah, no way. The one DT is the only unit that's getting kills here. 9 of them on that DT. All it takes is a slight movement on the Overseer or one fungal to catch it to end the game. 12 additional Spine Crawlers going down as RorO knows that all he has to do is hold on. He's not even spending his gas on Corruptors right now because he knows he can get Infestors. They're going to be much more useful in this case. He doesn't need those Broodlords just yet. He's got the Spine Crawler wall to work with. He's going to surround these units. As you mentioned, no sentries, no force fields.
And the Stalkers, they blink away, they expose the last Immortal and the Zealots, and this is not looking good for Ace. He's dropped down to 60 supply against 160. Here goes the forward pylon, and now another set of DTs, but that is it.
GG. Ace looking strong to begin the game, but RorO just knocking him down with great Roach aggression and great multitasking, splitting the Roaches in several different locations.
I feel that this game comes down to Ace not using his tech units properly. If with the Immortal on the low ground, he might not have been able to completely prevent RorO from breaking through, but he would have been able to trade just much more efficiently. So at this point, it was really a bit of an oversight by Ace, and RorO, he punished him for it. He saw that there was nothing to defend, so he just took him down. Really well played.
Great targeting by RorO, you know?
Yeah.
Always going for the critical structures. He's like, all right, step 1, the Robo. Step 2, the Forge, then the Cybernetics Core. Then I unpower your gateways. You try to repower them, later on I just kill your gateways. He actually knew the right order of things and the best way to spend his roaches. A lot of times you'll see a Zerg player attack several locations and just decide, alright, I can't split my roaches that well, I'm just going to fight his army cost inefficiently and keep him off my back. But instead, RorO traded his roaches as accepting the fact that they would die, but making sure that they killed something important while they were going through. At the very least, he was killing probes constantly as well. Ace really struggled to deal with his multitasking.
What you usually try to do when you are up against this much Roach power, you want to have a couple of Immortals and then you can just completely take apart a huge Roach army, but it was not the case, especially after the Robotics was killed. There was nothing that Ace could do anymore. He could at first rely on Zealots, but that's just not enough. He had to rebuild the Cybernetics core. It all costs time he did not have to begin with.
Yeah.
So RorO here taking the lead in the game with nice decision making and taking his chances. We are heading into map number 2, which is going to be Entombed Valley, a map that is traditionally very good for Protoss. Will Ace be able to come back in this best of 3, or will RorO take the StarTale player down? We're gonna find out in just a few seconds. This is the GSL round of 48. Held on Wolf.